time. Oh, hi all. Welcome back to another edition, another week of what I read. I am still playing catch up because some of these books are library books that I no longer have. Sorry. This is everything I read February 3rd through February 9th, 2025. I read 5 books that week. Some of them ebooks, some of them physical, one audiobook. I know, it's crazy. The first book I read was actually an arc. The book is now out. It is My Big Fat Fake Marriage by Charlotte Stein. Now here's I'm gonna get my annoyance out of the way first. My annoyance is that this isn't listed as part of her series with When Grumpy Met Sunshine, but it is. Because it is the FMC from that book's best friend, and we see those characters in this book. We also meet the MMC at the end of When Grumpy Met Sunshine, and so the fact that they aren't listed as a series really annoys me. You do not have to read When Grumpy Met Sunshine to get this book, but they are connected in the same world, so there you go. We have our FMC Hazel. She is pretending to be a black cat. This was my thing. Okay, this book, there were so many things that just didn't jive with me, but when we got to the steam, I don't know if I was ovulating. I don't know what was going on, but I went feral for the steam. Could not tell you why. So I just need to put that out there. In terms of the book itself, it felt really caricature-ish rather than authentic. The FMC Hazel is trying to be a black cat. She's reclaiming her life, but she's been lying about everything, including her name. She doesn't use her given name because she is so insecure or has so many hang-ups, and she's kind of a bitch. Just gonna put that one out there. And then we have Beck, who is the cinnamon rolliest cinnamon roll ever, but in a way that felt fake. Like there's no way that you as an adult human who work in publishing, who works with other adults, could have gotten this far in life being this naive. It's a fake marriage. Turns out that Beck gets bullied and he makes up a fake wife because a coworker who's really a dick keeps belittling him about being single, and so he says, oh no, I have this fake wife, and Hazel ends up pretending to be his wife on this work retreat. Now, if it were only a work retreat, I'd be fine with that. But Hazel was going on this writer's retreat as a person who wants to be a writer, and Beck was the person organizing this retreat because he's in the publishing world. And so it just felt like the plot had too many holes. But when we got to the spice, I just fucking lost it. Both of these characters are plus size. There's a lot of body positivity. There's a lot of good communication around that. I really enjoyed When Grumpy Met Sunshine. I want to read other things of her. She has a PNR book out. She has another book coming out later this month. No, not month. Year. She's a back catalog of indie stuff. Charlotte Stein is an author that I really want to like. This book, there were moments when I was so frustrated and then moments when I was feral. And so I don't know if I can rationally speak about this book. It is out. You can get it because I'm recording this way later than when I read them. But I enjoyed it. Because the copy that I have is an arc, all the notes that I've highlighted, I haven't checked if they're good. So I'm not going to go through any of my highlighted sections with y'all. The second book I read was Magic Strikes by Ilona Andrews. This is part of her Kate Daniels world. I don't know if I have written what world it is, but we're getting into the Kate Curran will they, won't they pretty seriously in this book. Kate is still part of the Order, and Jim, the enforcer for Curran, if this is all PNR that's going over your head, don't worry, just skip to the next book. But Jim comes to her and says, I need your help. I'm infiltrating a secret fight club, and you can't tell Curran because Curran outlawed any shifter from participating in this secret fight club. And through this fight club, we actually learn a little bit more about Curran's history. We get to meet some characters that give us an insight into Kate and her lineage and what she's running and hiding from. They do have some great banter, Kate and Curran, between the two of them, including one of my favorite moments where Kate has joined Jim and is hiding from Curran so that Curran doesn't officially know what's going on. Curran calls Kate, says, "I'm gonna find you," and she goes, "You'll, in a bantery, one-uppy kind of way, "you're never gonna find us. If you find us, I'm gonna cook dinner for you naked." And he does find her. He leaves a note for her because in the shifter culture, cooking for people, giving someone food is a sign of courtship, and also they have a ritual where you, to prove that you have prowess, you break into the person you're courting's house, and you can either play tricks if you're a hyena, or you move things around just to prove that you could get in there if you're other animals. And Curran just breaks into her house and goes through her stuff. So at the end, the note says, "Here's what I want, date, time, and the lingerie that I already know you own because I saw it in your drawer is enough. You don't have to be fully naked." It's such a great mic drop moment. We also watch Kate being really badass in this. And while the romance in Kate's relationship with Curran is definitely a major component of these stories, it isn't the focus of the story. The will they, won't they is not what the plot of these books are about. It's bigger things going on, and along the way the two of them are involved, and so we get that banter, we get that will they, won't they. There is no spice because there's no spice. I have big feelings about no spice, but they do have a little moment in a hot tub that I enjoyed. I am looking forward to the progression of their relationship. Feels like we're getting to the point of explosion. It's going to happen or it's not going to happen. So we'll keep you posted with that. This book I borrowed from my library. I borrowed the physical book, and I thought I wrote down all the highlights, but I cannot find that video, that little collection of stuff. So you just get my brain. I actually went right into the next Kate Daniels World book, which is a novella about Andrea and Raphael. So I am following the Kate Daniels release order on her website. I can put that link in the caption if you're curious about why I'm choosing the Kate Daniels books that I'm choosing, especially because some of them aren't from Kate's perspective. This one is from Andrea's perspective. Andrea works with Kate at the Order. Andrea is a shifter in secret. As we saw in Magic Strikes, Raphael and Andrea meet, and Raphael falls hard and falls fast. But Andrea has her own baggage. She grew up in a really bad Buddha clan and was abused in that clan. And so she has a lot of trauma around living in community with shifters. She's actually living in hiding. The Order doesn't know she's a shifter. She doesn't interact with shifters. She pretends as much as she can that she is not a shifter. But when Raphael meets her, she's in crisis. He discovers who she is and what she is, and he pursues her hard. He is a Buddha, a hyena. I don't know if I mentioned that. They're both hyenas, and their courtship rituals are so snarky. And what Raphael does as a courtship ritual is break into Andrea's house and create this hanging chandelier monstrosity of her favorite romance series. He finds all the books in this romance series that she reads that she doesn't have, and he creates this chandelier of romance novels as a sign of his interest. This novella is the one where we get a little bit more focus on them, and we get to watch them fall for each other and fall in together. It's really nice. And like everything else, while their relationship is a major component of this story, the actual plot and action of the book or the novella is that Raphael's stepdad passes away, and his body is stolen by a giant magical dog, and Raphael asks Andrea to help him reclaim his stepfather's body. And so they have to find and fight this magical dog and the mythology and the creatures associated with that in order to get the body back. One of the things that I'm really loving with Ilona Andrews is the diversity in mythology and lore that she includes in these stories. It isn't Eurocentric. It isn't one culture. It isn't one country. It is global. And there seems to be, and I don't know all of these, but there seems to be at the very least the same level of respect and intentionality with each of these communities and cultures. I appreciate the effort that they are making in creating these stories and in making the lore, the world, the magic system as diverse as humanity is. So each story, each book or novella that I'm reading has a different big bad, a different magical being that we're dealing with, and everyone is different. Everyone has been from a different culture, and that is so fascinating and so much fun to read about and learn about and see how they interact with each other. So I am just loving the Kate Daniels series, like so much. This is a good line. Andrea says, "If I weren't a trained professional, I'd have fainted from the sheer overload of his badassness." It's a great line. And there are other lines and moments of honesty. The fact that he's a Buddha and she has that trauma. She says, "I want security and kindness and a home. I want monogamy and consideration for my feelings. What do you have to offer me? You've slept with every Buddha woman who isn't related to you. Everybody had you, Raphael. They offered to give me pointers on what you like in bed." Like, I can just imagine like getting into that. Like that hit. Like that hits hard. Also, I love the fact that they're so sexually free. Like, that's a thing that I enjoy about this world, and specifically the Buddha clan. But it's also weird for people to be like, "Oh, do you want to know what he likes in bed?" Because I can tell you. I'm pretty sure it also wasn't nicely said. And Raphael is described as just being stunning and beautiful and sex on a stick. I would imagine that it's a little intimidating not only to be so attracted to someone who's had so much freedom and privilege in their life, but who also comes from the very culture that you've been trying to escape your whole life. It's hard. It's hard. I get it. I get why she resists and why it's tough between the two of them. But the novella is great. It fills in a little bit of the gaps. We get to meet these side characters and get to know them a little bit deeper. And they've played parts in the Kate Daniels books. So getting to know them in this way that doesn't interfere or take away from the Kate Daniels book as itself was really nice. Ooh, so the next book that I read was an audiobook by Kennedy Ryan called Coming Home. Very small, very light spiced because it is, I think, less than 2 hours, so just around the 2-hour mark. This story takes place at HBCU, Historically Black College University. Naomi and Torre were friends in college. They had a little bit of a will they won't they, but every time one of them was single, the other was in a relationship, and then it switched. Torre went to study abroad in France and was supposed to come back and finish his senior year, but ended up getting a girl in his program pregnant. Now, they were never together. He and baby mama were not really a couple, but he stayed in France to be with her, to be with his child, and then since went on to be a journalist and an author. Naomi finished out college without him. He left, they parted ways, and she is now a morning show host on national television. Both of them are very successful, but they haven't kept in touch. And they are both brought home to this college, to their alma mater, for homecoming week to celebrate. Also, Torre's daughter is the homecoming queen, so there's a whole family aspect to it. And as part of this weekend of events, they are voluntold by a mutual friend who works at the college now to participate in an interview where Naomi will interview Torre as part of the celebration of alumni for homecoming weekend. And as they see each other and talk and flirt, the chemistry is back. Some of those old wounds get to heal, and they end up reconnecting in a wonderfully beautiful way. There's only one spicy scene. It's well done. It's Kennedy Ryan. It's well done, but it is very short. So if you're looking for a huge, long, expecting a Before I Let Go or a This Could Be Us, it's not that. It is short and sweet and really well performed by the cast that they hired for it. So there is also that great believe it's duet style. It's either duet or full cast. It was a really well done audio performance, and I enjoyed it a lot. The final book that I read was Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood. This is my copy, the one that I read. It's got all my highlights, and I might go through and do these because I love them, though it is weird, I guess, for me to only do it for one book in the whole series, but whatever. I loved this book. I did. It is it's an adult book about new adult age. So it's two people in college. It's Scarlett and Lucas. Scarlett is a diver. Lucas is a swimmer. They are both at Stanford. They were both at Stanford. They know each other tangentially. Someone on the diving team with Scarlett is dating Lucas at the beginning of this story, but actually not dating. They've broken up. They've been together for 16 to 22, so like 5 years. They're in the process of breaking up. They're growing up. They no longer fit each other romantically. I get it, but for some reason they don't tell anyone. And then this friend, Penelope, confesses that Lucas is into kink, and Scarlett says, I am, and says, you two should be together. And so then they're thrust into this. It's very weird. Like, Penelope is the worst part of this book. She's not bad. She's not a bad friend. She's a dumb friend. But then the two of them are kind of in this will we, won't we situation. We both know we like the same thing, or we both know we're interested in kink as a whole, but what does that mean for both of us? And what I really enjoyed about this book is this book captured what it felt like to experiment with kink as a new adult, when you're not in a traditional setting or a really structured setting like a dungeon. You're not in a class. You're just on your own with the internet and a partner, hoping that you connect and can communicate and explore this thing. They have to build trust. They have to communicate. They have to not just communicate with each other, but also like, what do I want to do? What do I like? How am I going to go through this? They make lists and they exchange them. They scene in a very light way. They don't plan out any scenes together. We don't see that negotiation for moments. We see overall them talk about what their limits are, what they want, what they don't want. But it captures that feeling of what it was like to do that. So there were moments when, as a person who is a little bit older, who knows a little bit more, I was like, oh my God, that's not how, you're right, it's not how it is. It's not how it should be. This isn't the perfect how-to guide, but it is probably the most accurate representation, at least for what I dealt with many years ago when this was all happening at that age for me. I want to also say Scarlett is clearly flawed. She is the only point of view that we get in this book. We get Lucas in the epilogue, but Lucas is not a perfect person. He is flawed. He has flaws, and we see those affect him and Scarlett. So while, yeah, she's a bit of a mess in this book, she's definitely messier than Lucas. So many people are like, he's perfection. He's not perfection. He's not perfection. He's working on shit too, and we do have to remember that. So many people I've seen be like, oh my God, the perfect book boy. No, he's sometimes a really shitty book boyfriend. Don't put him on a pedestal when he doesn't deserve it. He's also in his early 20s and needs to grow the fuck up a bit. He lets Penelope continue the charade that they're dating in public, even though they broke up months ago. That's a flaw. That's a big red flag for me. So I'm only going to go through the stuff that I liked. You get right into it. This is such a great line. Because I'm a student athlete and my schedule is a crossover between a Jenga tower and a Shibari tutorial. I love that because we get in kink right away. It's not shied away from. The thing that I'm really enjoying about Allie is I feel like her writing is getting better. And not that her writing was bad, but she's able to really get deeper into these relationships and these humans with each book that she's writing. And we're getting 3 Allie Hazelwood books this year. We have Deep End, Problematic Summer Romance, and Mate. So there's so much coming. I'm thrilled. There's a good explanation of therapy in here. Oh, you seem touch-starved. Like, I remember those feelings. in college and as a new adult when you're like, I haven't had the touch of another human, just like friendly, just anything. Beautiful moments between the two of them, but I saw you and you made sense to me. They see each other really well. He observes her, and that's also part of a good partner in scene and in kink. You really do need to observe your partner well, and he notices when she's uncomfortable in a way that no one else cares to and no one else thinks to. And so we see his caring not just in scene in sex, but carry over into when they have lunch together, when they're out and about, when they're just in public. He starts to observe her and care for her in general, which is the mark of a good person. But it's not always easy to find someone who can read you and who can see you in the way that Lucas and Scarlett see each other. I do want to reread this book. It's so good. But like her head is a fucked up place to be. This is a great line. And like this is, again, those moments where Lucas is not a perfect boyfriend. He's not ideal and he does ignore her for his own fucked up reasons. But I love this moment when she stands up for herself. She says, even if it's just sex, it's not a good idea for me to be with someone who resents wanting me. Because Lucas, in order to prove that he could go without her, just ghosts her after they get together. And that sucks. That's a really shitty thing to do. But then he does make up for it. I acted like an asshole. I put my own fear before your feelings. And that's the most fucked up thing I've ever done, without a doubt. They both acknowledge when they fucked up in a way that I like. Oh, yeah, I'm never going to enjoy sex in the water. Yeah, the only thing I feel like I'm missing are actual scenes and negotiations for them. That's a note for me. Oh, when she stands up to her ex-boyfriend, delicious. Barb. This book is so good. It's so good. She gets better every single time. She's an automatic buy for me, and she's an incredible person, and always a win. She is always a win for me. That's everything I read February 3rd through 9th. Let me know if you've read any of these in the comments. I'll keep you posted on what I read next. And until next time, this is Jace holding space for you.